greatest thing about autumn, I love pie, I love cakes, I love everything sweet, and I especially love a crumble. There's so many variations. I've taken it stage further because in my cupboard I've got some ground almonds left over, I've also got some flaked almonds, and I had all these left over from Easter, and again it's just a good way of utilising and clearing out my cupboards. I've got here some flour, I've got here some butter or margarine, whatever you've got, it doesn't matter. Following the quantities that's in the recipe, I've got in there some sugar, some desiccated coconuts, some almonds and some ground almonds as well. All the ingredients in together, okay, and then you just mix all together. And the greatest thing about this crumble is that although the sweetness I put in there and the amount of sugar depends on your sweetness, okay, and the best thing to do with that is just take a little bit of the dry ingredients and just use it in its raw form, and that'll give you a good indication on the sweetness that you're going to expect. That works for me. And then we're just going to pop in the fat, okay, and then just going to start mixing this all together so it comes together in a crumb mix. I've got some of these leftover apples from the apple bobbin, some pears. The berries come from the hedgerows, and we just put them all together, and we're just going to bring this dish together. Now we're going to chop up the apple. Okay, I'm just going to remove the stalk. Okay, just going to pop the stalk to one side, and the whole of this apple can be used. Okay, the core, the pips, they're not going to do you any harm, but they just add to a different twist to the crumble as well. Mix these together into the dish with your berries. Berries go soft really quickly, so even at the end of the day before the shop closes, if you get in there, you can actually buy these soft fruits which are going out of date really cheap. I'm going to straight onto the crumble mix, okay, like so, and then we're just going to pop that into the oven. Pre-seasoned oven, which is gas 5, 180 with 360 for around 20 to 40 minutes. Okay, we're just going to remove the crumble from the oven now. It's been in for approximately 25 minutes and it's starting to really glaze up and it's looking nice and golden. Okay, bear in mind obviously it's still quite hot. I don't know about you guys and girls, I love homemade custard. Now this custard has got a little bit of a twist to it. I've got some mint in my garden and some basil left over from one of my salads, and I'm going to make a basil and mint custard to go with the crumble. I'm just going to take the milk and obviously the cream as well. I'm just going to pop that onto a very simmer. I'm just going to take the vanilla pod, and again, if you haven't got vanilla pod, then by all means use a little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, I'm just going to take half of that, pop that into the milk and the cream, and I'm just going to bring this up to a very delicate simmer. To make the custard, obviously I'm going to be using egg yolks. The leftover egg whites you can either freeze in an airtight container and pop them in the freezer for another day, or we're going to keep this for a separate recipe because we're going to do an autumn mess. Egg yolks into the bowl here. I've got my milk on and my cream, and it's just slowly coming together. I'm actually just going to take obviously the wilted basil and the mint, which are not used over from any salads. I'm just going to pop that into the actual liquid itself, and just keeping a little bit of the leaves back for chopping up later, and that's going to be infusing within the milk and the cream. I'm just going to pop these egg yolks on top of the milk, so I'm creating sort of like a bath style. And what we're going to do is going to whisk up the eggs, but I'm just going to add in a little bit of the icing sugar. Okay, if you haven't got icing sugar, you can put in caster sugar, and again to your desired sweetness. But bear in mind, if this is going on the crumble, you've also got the sweetness from the sugar and also from the fruits as well, so you don't really need it that sweet.